How's everyone? I'm fine.
Good. So Paul likes to start with a an icebreaker, and I feel like we kind of already had one talking about conferences, but is everyone here going to KubeCon or Data on Kubernetes Day in November?
Yes. I'll be there.
Robert, are you going?
I'm not going because we have our own conference coming up around that time, and there's just too much stuff going on. Plus, none of my talks got in, so
Oh,
including I didn't even get into Cube Rejects. That was kind of got didn't make the playoffs.
not this year, not this year.
Not this year. It's clearly a rebuilding year. So
I got into rejects and I'm surprised, but I think it's based on my title alone, and it's called the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon open source edition, and it's just about networking. But then I
yeah,
thought, like, do these kids know who Kevin Bacon is? Like, did I age myself because
yeah,
I'm like, like trying to come up with a catchy title, and
yeah.
I'm like, oh no, Kevin Bacon's like really old. I remember Footloose, and I don't even know if they understand it's a movie. So yeah, anyway. What about you, Jonathan? Are you going?
Not this
Anything
time,
coming up?
no. I will be I think in the KubeCon in London, KubeCon Europe.
Nice.
It's closer to my place, so where I live.
Yeah, I think Edith, you're going to that one too, right? Or at least in my mind, you're going.
See you there.
Well, cool. So let's jump right in. I know we got a little bit of a smaller group today, but that is quite all right. If you, Melissa, will allow me to share my screen, or you can share yours, totally
Yep.
fine, either one.
Yeah, I can share it.
So if you guys will just add your name to the attendee list. If you can't see the link, I can add it again. I don't know when you came in. But one of the things Paul really wanted to highlight is the Getting Started project, how it's really got some legs. And so he wanted to thank Ryan, Jonathan, and Steve for the contributions. And I'm not sure if y'all have had an opportunity to check out the blog post that he wrote. But it's really cool if you want to like check it out. It also has links to the Getting Started project itself, and asking for more contributors. And Paul's ask is to share that blog post on LinkedIn to try and get again some more contributors, but some more eyes on the prize, which is getting started, to the next step, and to the next level. So I think Paul's done a great job of reorganizing it, putting it into great little buckets for people to fill in. And it looks like he wants to know if anybody wants to add any information on stateful workloads. And again, there's the link right there. So when you get a chance, check it out. And then if you can share that on LinkedIn, that would be great. And I think too, like kind of just sharing this stuff around, even if it's like picking out something from the repo, one of the get started pieces and sharing it, just getting the community excited about what we're doing is a great lead in to DoK Day at KubeCon. And again, even if you're not going, just knowing that we're all there to raise awareness of DoK and all of the cool stuff happening with data and databases. So there is that. And then Melissa, I'm gonna hand it over to you, the DoK report.
Sure. So we got the survey results from the report. We are digging through it now. It's really interesting. I can give you some highlights. We don't know how to correlate everything yet. We're kind of figuring that out. But it was interesting to see some changes in the use cases that people were using. We did see a lot more interest in AI, which is not surprising. We did have more questions about how people are running ML and AI workloads in Kubernetes. We worked with the Cloud Native AI Working Group to help develop those questions, and we're going to share the data back with them as well. But we're really digging into that right now to understand what it tells us. We are seeing, certainly people are still doing this, and now they're using more advanced workloads is what we're seeing. And then we asked a lot about specific tools that people are using. So that's really helpful to understand what people are gravitating to right now. So we'll have that information by KubeCon. We're in the thick of really understanding and extrapolating what it all means right now. And then, of course, we'll be sharing it with sponsors, all the raw results before the KubeCon.
So what I was thinking to get more life out of the report once it's published is, so the LF member summit, they have one in, which is like the week after Kubernetes or KubeCon, which is annoying, but they're switching their schedule up and they're doing it in March. And there's a bunch of opportunities to submit CFPs now. And I was wondering if like maybe we could all get together and sort of create a generic-y sort of abstract that we could all start to put our own spin on once we have the results and start submitting that out. I think this is a great way to give the report some love, to shine a light on like what's happening in the space in general. And then, you know, like perhaps the ambassadors could also kind of pick that up and share like shorter versions at meetups and things like that. But I love being able to take all the hard work and put it in front of people's faces. And I feel like the LF member summit would be an awesome opportunity to do that, to get some hype, maybe get some more members, but for sure, that's a group that's probably very interested in the findings because it crosses all of their orgs, you know, whether it's Finos or CNCF, all that good stuff. And happy to work on that with you whenever it gets done.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great idea. And certainly we could do it and then give it to everybody, to anybody. You can adapt it and use it on your own. Super easy to do. That's a great idea. LF Member Summit, yes, because especially some of the ecosystem technologies we looked at are Linux Foundation projects. So yeah, that's a great idea. And any other data related conferences where this would make sense. Perfect. I'll make a note on here.
Sweet. Does anybody else have any kind of questions about the report, or are we just gonna like salivate while we wait for the actual beautiful package deal, and then we can hound Melissa for more questions and answers? I'm gonna take that as we're good. Cool. So Edith, you're on the call. If you want to kind of talk about the progress that's been made on the operator timeline project, that would be outstanding.
Oops. Paul just shared the repository with me, but I was not able to upload anything. I will work on that. But I also saw your question, Melissa. That timeline is just related to databases on Kubernetes. We was trying to add more things about the stateful applications in general, but it's gonna be really, really huge. I think, I don't know who asked it, but I think will be a great opportunity also to compilate all the things of a stateful application in another repo, in another way.
That's a good idea. I think there was a question on the general Slack this morning for DoK about someone was asking for essentially the timeline of stateful workloads in Kubernetes. And so I tagged Edith because I know Edith had done some research on this history recently. And I think whatever we produce, we could also put back on the DoK website, just because I think people would want to see it and see that you can just see that it's matured and that it's ready for stateful and what the history has been and where it's going. So that could certainly be something we add to the add as a page on the site.
Yeah, I will add the timeline today or tomorrow to the repo that Paul shared with me, and I can also share it with Adam Roberts, who was the one who asked it. Maybe he can get some things from that.
Awesome.
And I think too, Edith, whenever you're at the point where you want more information, just let us know. And I think that's something else that's good to share on LinkedIn, right? Like, or Twitter or X, whatever it's called, whatever socials people are still using these days. Just so that it shows like what we're doing, and share it with the ambassadors to share to their networks as well. So, you know, for both projects getting started and for this, you know, these are good opportunities to have a light lift that would make a nice impact in the overall project.
Okay.
Cool. Any questions or additional comments on the operator project? Nope. Okay. So we've already been talking about KubeCon, which is great. So this is KubeCon EU. You know, again, Melissa, would be great opportunity for us to submit the report findings for here, but the CFP is open until the 24th. There's a link to submit. If anybody has ideas and wants to do combo talks, you know, like co-presenters, definitely think that's something cool to open up to the group. So if you have ideas, maybe put it on the Slack channel. Also for like panels, always good to include ideas on the Slack channel. That I think is a lot of fun. I've never been accepted to KubeCon. Me and everyone else owns that badge of honor of the rejection letters. But I do think there's lots of cool stuff happening, and even thinking about submitting a project about the operator timeline project, right? Submitting a CFP, like how to get community activated. So those are things. And so if there's, again, if you have any ideas, maybe put them on the SIG Slack channel or the general channel, or just reach out. But happy to share like what your ideas are if you're looking for a co-presenter or need information to build your abstract. That's what we're here for. And then again, knowing that the report is coming out, just sort of maybe even taking an angle and submitting to KubeCon through that, with that kind of info. And then lastly, anybody have anything they want to talk about? I know this is really quick, but.
Do you guys know if there's any work going on data lakes and related to to Kubernetes? That's something we've been pretty heads down looking into for the last few months. But I don't see, I don't think there's anything really, you know, I don't know who else is working on this. Have you guys, has this been a topic for anybody that you know of?
There might be, like, so, you know, there's like the Hootie project in Apache.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
that, I feel like Hootie, they were looking at that. I don't know
Yeah.
how advanced they are, but
Yeah.
I know at one point they were starting to look at that, and I'm trying to remember the other one is.
So Iceberg
Yeah.
and Delta Lake.
Yeah, and I feel like they're looking at it. I don't know how far down the path they are.
We're looking pretty hard at Iceberg and Delta Lake, so maybe I'll go over and visit the Iceberg folks and ask them about that.
Yeah, and I know that Iceberg, they have this chill data summit going on right now. There's one that's happening in New York in a couple weeks, and I don't know. I feel like I saw a Kubernetes topic on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Another conference.
Great. Thank you. It's a chill data summit.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I know some of the people over there, so if you want an intro to anybody, let me know.
That'd be great. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Sure. You got it.
Speaking of data summits, Percona is sponsoring Past Data Summit for the first time. So kind of going into it blind. Is anyone going to that one? Robert, are you going to that?
Which one is that?
Past Data Summit. It's like the week before KubeCon in Seattle. It's like a Redgate event.
No, I wasn't even aware of it. Can you give me the name again? The
Past Data Summit, PASS.
PASS Data Summit.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going because I didn't know that it was happening. There's like, okay.
Yeah, I'd be
I know
curious.
there's tons of events going on in Seattle, but happy to bring any kind of literature to that, Melissa, if you want to, like, we can coordinate, since it's a data summit, right, as well, show our affiliations with DoK while we're there, and get some more hype about that as well, bring it to the masses. They seem to be, they asked us to go mostly because they're starting to get more inquiries about Postgres, but it's all data. And then there's also a Postgres conference, Seattle PG or something, happening at the same time. And there's like confusion if they're like the same event or different events, but just so you know, so happy to share the love and bring some more information with us. So it's not just us talking about ourselves, but also kind of what we do to the community.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, Redgate seems to have pretty good information about data. I mean, they have good research papers and stuff. So I'd be curious how that conference goes in general.
I will have my spies
Report back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our first time doing it, so we're not exactly sure if we're doing it like if it's going to be more of a community event or
Right.
more of a marketing salesy event. So we're going into it with open eyes and just kind of interested to see. And we had some speakers, so it just kind of worked out. So yeah.
So I was going back to the operator timeline project. One other thought I had was if you haven't done this already or haven't talked about it with Paul, Edith, like this could actually make a good doc talk to talk it, like to actually do a live run through of the history and timeline of the operator stuff that you've done.
It will be amazing because I have a talk in 2 weeks about the evolution of databases and operators, and I will use that timeline and I will use that repo to show the people that this is a work with several members of the community and they can also contribute. But if you have more ideas how to make this more interesting, will be nice.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. This is a topic that is apparently coming up and people want to know what the timeline is. So why not do a virtual conference with DoK on it?
Yeah.
Sweet. So just to have this Paul schedule, right? Like you
Yeah.
got this, Edith.
Totally. Yeah, I'll mention it to Paul, but yeah, totally. I think it'd be a good idea. Good information for the industry.
Cool. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
I am open for a co-speaker. If you want to be a co-speaker with me for KubeCon EU, Europe in London, or for Regex, or for some event near to KubeCon will be nice. If you want to speak with me, we can prepare some talks related with data on Kubernetes also and submit it to KubeCon. I'm open to that.
Do you have
Cool.
particular topics in mind?
State of applications, databases, operators, that could be.
Mhm.
I wonder if we should do like a match game, Melissa, like on the Slack channel, like here are the topics I like to talk about. Do you want to co-present? And then people can kind of, you know, say, oh yeah, that'd be great. Cause I think too, like it's a good way to get some new blood. And hopefully some people that normally get accepted would reach out and try and like bring other people up would be cool.
Totally.
Yeah, that
We've
would be
done
a good
multiple
idea.
panels. Sorry, go ahead, Jonathan.
No, I was saying that it would be a good idea to match people that want to speak about the same topics and prepare, or collaborating to prepare a single talk to present at
Yeah.
KubeCon or DoK.
Exactly. I feel like KubeCon looks favorably on when it's multiple different vendors too, right? I think that's why we've been able to get a DoK panel in the last several KubeCons because of that. We have multiple people coming to talk about this. So absolutely, I think that's a great idea. Let's do some matchmaking topics and ideas. And then, we always want to have different new people on the panels too. Any topics that people have, let's talk about what it is and then figure out who should be on it.
Sweet. It also helps take away from the competition, right? Because I did reviews for this year's KubeCon and it was in the cloud native experience space. And I mean, it's the same, like people are wanting to talk about the same thing. And like, it's a very slim margin as to who gets all fives and who gets like a 4.8, you know what I mean? And so being able to buddy up with someone cuts the competition in half, which I think is nice. And to your point, it gets more people on stage, which is helpful to hear different voices.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we might have been small, but I think we're mighty. We had some really good ideas coming out of this. If anybody has anything else, now's the time.
Nothing from me.
Cool. All right. Well, then y'all have a great rest of your day. Looking forward to seeing some topics coming up in the Slack channel and pushing out the report when we get it. But for sure, sharing Paul's blog post. So go back to the document, get that link, and let's give some love to those getting started peeps and get more stuff in that project. Awesome.
Thank you.
Y'all have a
Great.
good one.
Thank you.
Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.